It is day 17 of 2018. Let's get to rip. I got my coffee sitting over and I want to sip, but I don't want to taste or eat nothing till I've actually got an appetite this morning. Usually I don't want nothing to eat, but I've got an appetite. I've got the shakes a little bit, so I'm wondering if that means, oops, I don't have enough in it. I got my new one here. How much have I got? 12. Take that shot right quick. No, wait a minute. I'm going about this wrong. I want to take my dang. I believe my blood sugar's low. Now, wait a minute now. I'm really confused now. Sitting there. Yeah, I've got to shake. It's low. It's low. Ouch. Yeah. It's low. It's gotta be low. I got shakes. Alright, what is it? What is it? Is it low? What the hell? 168. What the hell's going on? 168? That's high for me. I'm gonna go ahead and take this shot. Oh, I've got shakes bad. Maybe I'm cold. Alright, that was 12. So, another $100 bill. And another $100 bill. When I get these prescriptions refilled for these things here, they give me it's either 4 or 5 boxes, I'm not sure. It's about $2,000 worth. Okay, 12. Oh, man. 12. 22, 32, 42, 38. Yeah, I've got shakes. See, I can't. Nervousness. Of course, I do have. Doctor told me years ago I had to look like I had the beginnings of Parkinson's. I hope not. Okay, there's that. 50 units. Wow. Now I'll have a sip of my coffee. Seems like the older I get, the more disorganized I get. Yeah, I've got shakes this morning. God dang. Well, whew. I come prepared this morning. Set this down over here. And I hate eating in front of it. I know how I look. I hate hold on. You can probably hear me. Pig. Gotta get them pills down. That was good. Now, let's see. I'm gonna check my YouTube page. I needed that. Yeah. Alright, what the hell? Maybe if I put my teeth in, I wouldn't look so bad. Can't wait till I get this new computer. This thing is so slow. I can upgrade it to the max on the RAM, but to do that is $256 and it ain't worth it. There was this past Saturday night, two of the managers over at Walmart where my daughter works, they got off at about 11 o'clock Saturday night. For some reason they went over to the square in town and was they were walking in a crosswalk in the square, and it's well lit over there. I guess he was over there just to see the lights before they take them down. And this car come along, was speeding and run the red light and hit them, killed them both instantly. And the damage to that man's car, when I looked at the picture of the car, it looked like it had a head-on collision with another car. That's how bad the damage was. I mean, it was mangled. And of course, he run. He didn't drive it run. He just jumped out of the vehicle and run off. They called him later, drunk. Kill them both. Just goes to show you, man, how stuff happens. And my daughter was friends with both of them. You just don't know. A lot of people say when somebody dies like that, well, it was their time to go, or it was God's plan or something, but I don't believe that at all. I don't believe it's never your time to go. I just believe it's circumstances that you go. I mean, if it had been just 30 seconds earlier or 30 seconds later from where they was at, it wouldn't have happened. But that's just how quick things happen. And I don't never believe it's your time to go. I just believe it's the circumstances or the carelessness or just natural causes. Because if a lot of people like said, well, that's what God had planned, well, then why punish the person that's responsible for that accident if it was God's plan? I don't believe it was God's plan. God might have let it happen. He might have known it would happen, but I don't believe he would interfere with trying to prevent it or cause it. If it's God's plan, he planned it. I think, does that make sense? I don't believe he plans anybody's death. I don't know. I don't like to get into religion and politics on here. I'm never going to get into politics on here at all. At all, buddy. What I do in the booth is my business. It's not yours. It's not any of the politicians. Well, it concerns them, but it's none of their business how I vote. And really none of their business about which way I lean. So I've learned that, and I didn't learn that till just recently about it's nobody's business but mine. So, none of you people, none of your business. And I don't want to know what yours is. It's just not worth it. And the people's too fanatical these days about politics. It's got way out of hand. Okay, I'm looking at my page. I've got no messages this morning. I usually have a message or two. I don't even think I picked up a subscriber this time. Let's see. Boy, this thing is slow. No, I've not picked up a subscriber. And that, well, I have got 9 views on that page I put up last night. The one about distracted by hollies on my Facebook. I was definitely distracted, not that I thought they was hot, but how ridiculous it is. I was distracted. Yeah. Anyway. Now my shake settled down a little bit, maybe. You know, I used to think when you got old like I am, I used to think you'd sit around and worry about whether you're going to die the next day or not, or the next instant. And I don't worry about it. It's on my mind occasionally, but I'm looking at it this way, and I used to didn't look at it this way. I had a friend that was, she was a real good friend of my wife's before my wife passed away. Her name was Margaret. Matter of fact, she was my mama's age. She was 90, about 90, and I used to say, well, I wish I could go back to this, be this young again. And her name was Margaret, and she'd say, well, Russell said, we had our turn. We had our time. So let everybody else have theirs. You know, and that kind of stuck in my mind, and that's right. I had my place. I had my time. And I figured if I could just make it to 75, which I did, and I'm 76 now, I figure anything from here on out I call them my bonus days or my bonus years. So every day I get now is a bonus. So, to heck with all that worrying about dying. If I die, most likely I ain't gonna know nothing about it. Unless I get some terrible disease or something and the doctor says you got so much to live, and then that ain't for certain. So, but I don't worry about it because I'm not gonna know anything about it. The biggest reason I would like to stick around is because my grandsons need me, my daughter needs me, and I don't contribute much to her, what do you want to call it, livelihood or anything, but I contribute some, and it would be hard for her to do without it. And things like that is what I worry about, and I worry about my youngest, my 9-year-old, how it would affect him if I was to pass away. Ever since that deal where he was crying about if I died, would I drop him notes from heaven telling him that I was all right. And ever since then, he just went through that crying spell. I don't know what got him started on that, but he got so upset, and this went on for about 3 or 4 days. It was to the point that I was really concerned about his mental health. But he just, if you die, it drop notes down to me telling him that I'm okay and how things are and stuff like that. He was doing this with tears in his eyes. So yeah, I'm concerned about leaving behind my boys and my daughter. That's what concerns me about death, not the fact just that I'm going to go die, you know. Everybody's going to do that, and there ain't a damn thing we can do about it. But that 9-year-old, he's like an old pine knot. You know, they're just tough. But then he's just a little boy, and he's got a soft heart, and he loves his pop. Every time I tell him, love you, Jay, or love you, P-Dab, and he'll say, love you too, Pop. So, he loves me. I love him a lot too. I love both of my other 2 grandsons. And I tell them so every day too. I've even started telling my daughters that every day. 'Cause they're my world. They're my legacy. They're what I'm leaving behind. Um, I wish I was leaving my son behind, but of course he passed away 31 years ago. Um, I often wonder what he would wind up doing. He was a big boy, and I don't mean overweight. He was just a big boy. And I think he might have wound up in sports. I don't know. And then again, he might not have. I ain't had. All three of my grandsons are half black. Ain't none of them interested in basketball. They not interested in a lot of, well, some of the music. They like the more mellow type music and stuff. And sometimes I wonder, are being biracial like that, are they being raised up white, or are they being raised up black, or are they being raised up a little of both? I think probably a little of both. But probably if you had to say, well, which way they lean more or less, and probably white. But that's only normal. I mean, I'm not black, my wife's not black. And of course I feel the same way about a lot of things that somebody that's full black would feel about. But they don't seem to be. I mean, I could tell the difference in, like, my middle grandson, when he's 18, I can tell the difference in the way his daddy is, and his daddy's here right now, but he's not permanent. And they're different. There's much difference between my middle grandson and his daddy. It's night and day. And the little one's daddy, same thing. The oldest one's daddy, we hadn't seen him in 20 years. And that was only one time that he ever come to see Donovan. And when he got here, he was here about 4 or 5 days. He complained about him. He's not treating me like a dad. Of course not, you idiot. He never seen you till he was 7. And he hadn't seen you since then. And he's supposed to act like you're his daddy. The only daddy he knew was me. Then my wife raised him. He's the one with CP. Cerebral palsy, for those who don't know what CP means. But of course he don't know him like a daddy. And the guy got upset about that. Well, excuse me, buddy. At least the other two's been somewhat in these boys' lives. Somewhat. The youngest one's more than the other one, but the funny thing about it, they're all half brothers to each other, but there's no difference. They are brothers, and I mean full-fledged, 100% brothers. Ain't no half, no quarter, nothing about it. They're brothers. And I got half brothers and half sisters, but they were kind of like half brothers and half sisters to me. I was never as close to them as I was my whole brothers. and I got 2 half sisters and 2 half brothers, and I'm closer to the youngest sister, half sister, than I am my other half sister, whom I was with a lot when she was being raised up. This youngest one I wasn't. She was born in 1963, and that mother gave her up for adoption. So we never knew anything. Matter of fact, most of the kids thought she had died at childbirth. Mother didn't want to tell them she was giving her up. And when she gave her up, she didn't know who she went to or anything. They had somebody to adopt her right away. The only thing she knew for sure was that they was naming her Carol, which was kind of ironic because my sister, first sister, and my older sister, name was Carolyn. But about 5 or 6 years ago, I was doing a lot of stuff on the internet, you know, and family tree stuff and everything, and me and her husband run into each other on the internet, and he sent me a thing, and he said, "I think you are my wife." Anyway, that's kind of family story. Funny how things work. She sent me a fruit cake. Looked like she made about 50 fruit cakes. You know, they weren't very big, they were little small loaves, and sent them to different people, and she sent me one. Boy, that sucker was good. I don't know if the camera will pick it up or not, but there's a little dark spot right there on my top of my wrist. I think he's picking it up, and that was from a girl named Helen Westbury, and I think that was either 6th or 7th grade.
Who, me?
And boy, she left. That's been with me all these years. Let's see, if I was 14, so gosh, that's 60 years ago. Yeah, that little gal, I spent a lot of my money on her. Yeah, I made $20 a week, and she got about half of it every week in sodas and chocolate root beers and milkshakes and banana splits. I was a soda jerk at the drugstore. Wow, I can't believe that's still there. Yep, she got me good that day. I deserved it. Helen Westbury sit in front of me in school. This is 6th or 7th grade, I can't remember what. And I was always picking at her, and I really liked the girl. Well, she had a little sister too named Mary, and to tell you the truth, I couldn't figure out which one I liked the best. But Helen was right in front of me in school, and I was always picking it at her and stuff when the teacher wasn't looking, you know, doing stuff. And, this is right about the time that I reckon when school started that year, she didn't have no boobs. You know, she was flat and everything, which that was normal, but she was a cutie. I liked her. And she one day she come to school. I mean, it's like the day before she had no boobs. The next day she had boobs, you know. I guess they were probably nubs. She probably helped along with a little toilet paper stuff, but she's got this training bra. And I don't know why I picked it. I started picking at her. She'd be sitting in front of me, and I'd reach up her if she had a low back dress on or something. Back then the girls wore dresses. They never come to school with pants on. And I would reach up there and pop that, grab that little bra strap and pull a little bit and snap it back. And she'd turn around and give me some real hateful looks and stuff all the time. I thought that was funny as crap. And one day, I reached up there and I popped that bra strap thing and it come undone. And she turned around there and she had a pencil in her hand and she stabbed me in the top of my wrist with that pencil. I mean, it went in. It drew blood. I didn't pop that bra strap anymore. And that's where that little black mark come from after 60-something years ago. Yeah, she got me real good that day. I didn't pop no bra strap no more. I wished I could locate her today and if she's alive and show her that Martin. Remember this? I deserved it. It won't. Nowadays, a guy walk up to a girl and do something like that, that's considered. Well, I think I made a decision about what I'm going to do about my crafts and stuff. I think I'm going to have to hang it up. I'll know for sure once I go to the ear specialist. Just feeling lightheaded all the time, and I mean, I really have to work at not falling. It's like you get dizzy, but it's not like where you get with a ball bat and spin around and do that. It's not like that. It's like you're top heavy and you want to go over and just keep going over. That's the only way I know to explain it. And I just don't want to fall. I especially don't want to fall and break a hip or something. It's been my experience through my life. Every time some older person fell and broke a hip, a lot of them never come out of it. They died. And I need to stick around for my family. It's nice to feel needed. I feel needed. I don't know if they think I'm needed or not, but I feel needed. But if I'm not going to do my woodworking, the best thing I can do is sell everything off again like I did before and turn around and bought everything back because the situation changed. So that's just an update on what I'm going to do about my crafts. I do have a couple of things I need to get done. I promised my sister-in-law a cross, and I promised church pastors a set of 3 crosses, a big one and 2 smaller ones. I may already have some built that I could use for that. I don't know, just being realistic. Anyway, that's my update on that. I just watched the Chris and Holly show video on YouTube, the one he made about that last birdhouse he built. And I had said previously that I was going to have to hang it up on my woodworking and stuff. But just watching that, just really made me want not hang it up. I don't know what to do. I was wanting to build one of those birdhouses like he built. And a couple other things, but I don't want to hurt myself out there, but I swear I don't want one per se, like to have, but I just like to build one. Now I'm totally confused. I don't know. I don't want to quit, guys. I swear I don't. It's just, man, you start hanging up your tools, it's almost like dying on the vine. I almost wished I hadn't watched it. Dadgone it. He even gave me a shout out on that, but he got my name wrong. Of course, that's my fault. I hadn't told him I had changed my name. Before I was just Russell Pearson, and now I changed it to Russell Wood Dobber Pearson. A lot of people were looking for Wood Dobber and they couldn't find it, and so I needed to put that in there. Not that it'll make a whole lot of difference. So now I may, if it warms up a little bit this afternoon, I may go outside and piddle around a little bit. I don't want to hang it up. Somebody. There's a lot of things I don't want to do. I don't want to run out of kids. My last grandson, he's growing up. Before you know it, he's going to be grown. And I ain't gonna have no babies left in the house. And I ain't never had an empty nest. Well, I did have an empty nest. My son passed away in '86. My daughter left in '88 for 2 years. She come back in she come back actually in 1989 and had a baby in February of '90. That's my oldest grandson, Donovan. So when she had that baby, then I didn't have an empty nest anymore. She went back to school, and me and my wife raised that boy. And so I've never had really an empty nest except for that 2 years that my daughter was going to school and my son had passed away. I had an empty nest then, just me and my wife. And I can't recall much about that 2 years. We did a little bit of stuff together. But then Donovan come along, and all of a sudden we had, because when our son died, we wasn't done raising kids yet. You know, I don't think I would ever be done raising kids if I could physically and financially be able to do it. Now I gotta think about my wood shop. I don't know. Daggone it. It's your fault, Chris. Yeah, I built a lot of birdhouses, but I never went into a whole lot of detail and quality work that Chris does. Because I was in production, you know, like if I had somebody wanted 50 birdhouses, I'd have to set up and run 50 birdhouses. I run it on a production thing, and it couldn't be to the standard that Chris spends on these mansion tree houses that he makes. But my background's been production all my life, because I've been working, you know, in furniture and stuff. So that's just the way my mind works. Production, high output, quantity, not quality. The other way around, quality, not quantity, then it's going to take longer. Ah, Lord. I wish you'd warm up, I swear. Anyway, I may video me piddling around out there after a while. Ever since I had that big toe on my right foot amputated, every once in a while I really get this pain. That toe starts hurting. And I swear, I can look at it, I feel that toe hurting, and I can almost see where it's hurting, but it ain't there. How in the heck can that toe hurt? And it's not the nub there, it's where the toe used to be that's hurting. Yeah, I know all about phantom teeth and phantom limbs and all that stuff, but I still don't see how it does that. It's not hurting on me, it's hurting. How stupid is that? It's still hurting. Dadgummit. Weird. Really weird. Hurt you, sucker. I don't care. You ain't there. I ain't. Oh, it still hurts. I know it can't be possible. Dadgummit. You know, I guess I know why we hang on to things. This has got Dusty sitting up there on the shelf. I should take care of it better. This is still a little bit of water in there. My wife had real dry mouth real bad every night, and she kept this bottle sitting beside the bed that she'd take a sip of water to get her mouth not so dry. And when the reason she went to the hospital 10 years ago was she went to the bathroom by herself, and most of the time I would go with her because she did have a habit of falling for no reason. And So I'd always go with her, and well, I'd say 99% of the time I'd go with her, but that night I don't know why I didn't go, and she fell and cut her head real bad, and they had to come take her to the hospital in an ambulance. And of course, at that time I didn't know it, but that was the last time she would ever be home. A month later she was dead. But this is the bottle that she had on the table that night. It did have a little bit more water in it than that. This is the same water that was in there when she had it. So this is the water that come out of my well. I was living in Citra, been living there almost 30 years. And I just never emptied it. It's just kinda, you know, maybe her DNA is still on this, maybe her fingerprints are. I don't know. I've always heard you don't, when a loved one dies, you don't make a museum of them or something, you know, but I've got this.